So, our Omega likes his partner to dominate him during sex. And it opened a whole new world. He flipped and then he flopped. Sucked him good and then they fucked. He plugged it so deep that poor little brat couldn't keep up, screaming under his jacked up daddy. Mr. Beta pricked the manners back into Chowon, and I love seeing it, as we all should, because Kyungsoo put Chowon in his place. Before we get started though, I just want to remind our viewers that if you like seeing more yaoi content and would like to support this channel, please don't forget to smash that like button. Also, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. Feel free to message me in my social media at ZEALED FUJOSHI, which I'll be using to interact with viewers about more yaoi content. If that's something that interests you, feel free to follow me at ZEALED FUJOSHI. Finally, this episode will contain explicit content and a lot of Manwha spoilers. With that in mind, please proceed with caution. You have been warned. Now, without further ado, let's jump into chapter 96 of Love is an Illusion. Just a little bit of a theory / review. I really have a feeling that Chowon just wants someone to rein him in. It's not about being an Omega, but more of his personality in the whole being. Remember, he comes from a rich family. He has been spoiled since he was a kid. He thinks he can get everything he wanted until Heesoo gave him a lesson. He was able to get away with everything he did, no matter how shitty it was. But it caught up with him, and now he's reaping what he sowed. And having an actual psychological issue has made the problem worse for him. Lately, he feels like the world is against him, and worse. The meds are not working, definitely normal and understandable in this stage of recovery. But he's not voicing out his worries. Instead, he is lashing out. And since he gives a threatening aura most of the time, no one dares confronting him about it. Kyungsoo knows that he has to do something, and there is no choice but to confront and force Chowon to admit what is going on, because he knows how stubborn and prideful Chowon is. I'd like to think like therapy, right? Just ignore the sex for now. In therapy, the therapist would sometimes get really frank with the patient, especially when the person is really stubborn. They have to be made aware that they don't hurting feelings be damned, that what they are doing is not productive and will only hurt them and their loved ones in the long run. And I have a feeling that Kyungsoo knows this. See, Chowon eventually said exactly what's going on in his mind, but notice that Kyungsoo never actually scolded Chowon. He even comforted him. Well, he did tease him a little bit, but again, he is the boyfriend, not a therapist. So, I want to kind of give Kyungsoo some slack, regardless of how this chapter can be perceived in a very negative way, especially replying to the sex scenes, right? I personally don't think that Chowon disliked it. Going back to my original point, he just really wants someone to rein him in. I think that's his thing. For forceful plays, I don't know what's the correct term, but I think this was a very consensual and enjoyable time for both of them. And don't forget, in the very end, Chowon did calm down, voicing his thoughts to Kyungsoo. And, he got a good pee-pee in the process. I really do think that both of these characters, it's a harmless outlet that I think they both enjoy, and definitely something Chowon needs, right? But man, to be Chowon Lee, Kyungsoo is so lucky also to be with Chowon. My gosh, looking at this chapter, Chowon's perfect slender body, those bountiful ass cheeks, the childbearing hips of a literal Omega god. It's honestly freaking hurting knowing that Kyungsoo will never be able to pass his genes through him and have Chowon give birth to a set of perfect offsprings. I'd do anything for the chance to see these two have a child together, like literally anything. And sometimes I wonder, why would Fargo create something so perfect just to tantalize us? Like like I think Fargo is laughing at our faces. Honestly, guys, I'm just not freaking Daijobu right now. Chowon is so pretty. My gosh, I am so amazed that he is so pretty. It's intoxicating and disturbing at the same time. To top it off, he got an attitude of a total B. I don't know what to say. Kyungsoo showed him who's the boss though in this chapter, and gave Chowon exactly what he never knew he actually needed. He needed a big pee-pee injection. My brain can somehow feel how deep Kyungsoo is while he's pounding in this chapter. Oh my god, reading too much boys love has made my brain go numbless. I still do think that this was more psychological also. Kyungsoo knew that Chowon was turned on while he was holding him. He continued because he knows Chowon loves it. I don't believe for a minute that Kyungsoo would do anything that Chowon doesn't want. I still believe that Kyungsoo is too kind, accommodating, and gentle. He was in tune with Chowon, which absolutely shows in the last panel when Chowon was more passive and kind. My gosh, this chapter. This people is how to tame a wild Chowon Lee. So basically, Chowon just needs to be dicked down whenever he's getting mean. Problem solved, guys. The whole summary of this whole side chapter is, I feel like basically Chowon is just a little bit of a masochist and Kyungsoo is a little bit of a sadist. And we'll leave it at that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to follow my social media to be teased about some of the boys' love that I'm interested in. Feel free to leave me a message and converse with me in my new Discord channel. I'd love to hear back from you. Also, please consider supporting this channel by donating as little as 99 cents through www.sealedfujoshi.xyz. Also, don't forget to support the author. All the manhwa details can be found in the description below. Again, thank you so much and hope to see you next time.